यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन यमुनतीरावनचारि यमुनतीरावनचारि जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद जय 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 प्रभुपद 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 जय जय प्रभु ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायण नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं मुदीरये तथा सर्वदेषु भागवते भागवते तमस्ते भक्ति भवति नित्यति कृष्णस्य रामभवति ज्ञान विदिता Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 13, text number 10. एतावत्यात्मा जैर्वीरा कार्याह्यापतिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमत्तैर्गृह्येत सादरं गतमत्सरैः एतावत्यात्मजैर्वीरा कार्याह्यापतिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमत्तैर्गृह्येत सादरं गतमत्सरैः एतावत्यात्मजैर्वीरा कार्याह्यापतिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमत्तैर्गृह्येत मत्सरैः एतावत्यात्मजैर्वीरा कार्याह्यापतिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमत्तैर्गृह्येत सादरं गतमत्सरैः एतावत्यात्मजैर्वीरा कार्याह्यापतिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमत्तैर्गृह्येत सादरं गतमत्सरैः प्रजापत्यात्मजैर्वीरा कार्याय पतिर्गुरौ शक्त्या प्रमथगृहेत सादरं गतमत्सरे. Word by word translation and purport by His Divine Grace of Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Etavati, just exactly like this. Atmajai, by the offspring. Vira, O hero. Karya should be performed. He certainly. Apachittai, worship. Guru, unto the superior. Saktya, with full capacity. Tai, by the sin. Griheta, should be accepted. The adaram, with great delight. Gatamat sarai, by those who are beyond the limit of envy. Translation. Oh hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. Oh hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. Purport. So, in connection with the Lord Barahadev's appearance, we are reading various other things. And now, Brahma is giving, Brahma created many different living beings. He is not fully satisfied, so he was seriously thinking how to create the population uh, plenty. And then at that time, a man and a woman appeared from his body, and then uh, the man offered obeisances to Brahma, and with great humility and great respect, he started to ask the question, please give us the order what we supposed to do, and then this is Brahma's reply to his answer. So he says, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. The father always expects good things from the son, and son expects good things from the father. So that's why here the respect offered by Manu Maharaj, Brahma is very much pleased. So on such a pleasing atmosphere, he tells that you are quite befitting a son in relation with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. Adoration to superior person, if he is highly qualified person and befitting, and if it is necessary, adoration should be given. Just like Brahma the father of mankind, is, is a quite uh, befitting a man to give adoration and respect. So that's why Manu Maharaj giving him such adorations is very proper here. He says, one who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father. One who doesn't envy anybody, such a person uh, accepts the father with great delight and executes his order with great delight and with fully. So Manu Maharaj here it clearly indicates that Manu Maharaj is beyond the limit of envy. Manu Maharaj has no envy in his mind. So that's why he accepts the father's order with great delight and also executes it with full capacity. Purport. When the four previous sons of Brahma, the sage Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara refused to obey their father, Brahma was mortified and his anger was manifested in the shape of Rudra. So four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara, refused to obey his father's order, although they are also quite competent persons to understand what is in the Brahma's mind, but they refused the father's order, and the anger arose out of that disobedience, and that anger took a form of a Rudra. Not forgotten by Brahma, and therefore the obedience of Manu. So he was not enthusiastic about his son's behavior, the four Kumara's son's behavior, but now Manu Maharaj offering full prayers and with full obedience he is ready to obey the order of the father was very encouraging to Brahma because Brahma wants to create population all over the universe and Manu Maharaj is ready to do that. So that's why Brahma is enthusiastic about it. From the material point of view, sages disobedience to the of their father was abhorrent. But because such obedience was for a higher purpose, they were free from the relationship of disobedience. So disobedience of the four Kumaras was against the scriptural rules that one should follow the path ordered by the father, qualified father, but because they wanted to get the higher purpose in life, surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead for liberation, leaving behind dharma, artha, and kama for the for the moksha, leaving behind dharma, artha, and kama. Such a disobedience is accepted because you have understood the goal of life and you want to go for the goal of life. That disobedience did not any other bad punishment or anything, but only he become upset, and because of that upset, Rudra was produced. But as for them themselves, nothing bad happened because they are uh, they they disobeyed for the higher purpose. Those who disobey their fathers on material grounds, however, are surely subjected to distractions for such disobedience. If a person is an ordinary person, he is not a great person and he doesn't dedicate himself to for the purpose of Supreme Personality of Godhead, disobedience to the father is not recommended. One should obey the father as long as one is attached to material activities. But as for the higher purpose, to surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such a disobedience, if the father is not full Krishna consciousness, then such a disobedience is allowed. Manu's obedience to his father on material grounds was certainly free from envy, and in the material world, it is for ordinary men to follow the example of Manu. So Manu obeyed the great father Brahma, and it is certainly free from envy. He has no envy on anything, so that's why he obeyed the father's order, and this is to be followed by all men of the world, those who are regularly doing their work, not surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a person should follow the order of example of Manu Maharaj, who obeyed the father's order. He paid all great respect and he is ready to follow any instructions given by the father. So that's why his example is very much exemplary for common men to follow. That's why many people say, forget the Bible and follow the Manu Samhita. When talking about which book to follow, they say follow the Manu Samhita and forget the Bible. That's what many people say. Because Manu Samhita is composed by Manu Maharaj and it has the moral codes of humankind, how to live a life. So that's why we should follow the Manu Samhita, forgetting all other books if we are just regular material person doing our own work. Very exemplary book. Because Manu Maharaj set an example how to obey his great father. So that's why following Manu Maharaj is a exemplary act. So just mainly this verse is Brahma becoming quite happy about the son, and uh, Manu Maharaj is behind the envy and he is ready to accept the father's order with great delight and execute it to his full capacity. 11. ततोमस्याम पत्यानि सदृशान्यात्मनो गुणैः उत्पाद्य सा सधर्मेण गाम्यज्ञे पुरुषं यज. Since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performance of yajna. So finally, Brahma gave the order what to do for Manu Maharaj. So he says, you are my very obedient son. So Brahma is quite pleased with the behavior of Manu Maharaj. So he gives the order, beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Make a lot of children. And they should be qualified just like you and obedient like you. And you have your wife and you can create children. This is how he gave order. And also he gave another order, rule the world in pursuance of the principle devotional service. And rule this world according to the bhagavatam principle. Because devotional service are mainly mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. And in that devotional service you should follow and rule the world according to that. And worship the Lord by performance of yajna. So this is Satya Yuga, and Satya Yuga people follow the performance of yajnas. So that's why he is giving the order, worship the Lord with performance of yajna and rule the world. These two orders are given, worship the Lord and also rule the world. The two orders he gave it to Brahma. And also he mentioned one good thing is you are my obedient son and you beget children in the womb of your wife. These are the orders, 4 orders he gave. Creating children, rule the world, and do the devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And please, by performance of yajna, do the yajna. Propose. The purpose of the material creation by Brahma is clearly described herein. Every human being should beget nice children in the womb of his wife as a sacrifice for the purpose of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in devotional service. So every human, those who have taken birth, if they want to live as a human, civilized human, then they are allowed to create children in the womb of their wife, and it is as a sacrifice for the purpose of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Deva Rin is, no, Pitri Rin is nullified when you create the children in the womb of your wife. There is a Pitri Rin that remains if you don't create any children. So Pitri Rin is nullified when you have children in the womb of your wife. So Brahma gave such an order to Manu Maharaj. In the Vishnu Purana 389, it is stated, Varnasrama Saravata Purusena Parapuman Vishnuradete Pantha Nanyatatosa. One can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu by proper discharge of the principles of Varna and Ashrama. There is no alternative to specifying the Lord by execution of the principles of the Varna Ashrama system. Radha Madhav Hari ki jai, Srinivasa Gopal ki jai, Sri Jai ki jai. So Vishnu Purana explains that one can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu by proper discharge of principles of Varna and Ashrama. If you are following Varna and Ashrama with proper attitude, then it pleases the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no alternative to pacifying the Lord by execution of principles of the Varnashram system. So the Lord is pacified when one strictly follows the Varnashram system. And other than that, there is nothing that can please the personality of Godhead. So that's a Varnashram system that you follow Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Banaprastha, Grihastha, Sannyas. These four principles of Varnashram system and the order of life, the categories of life, Brahman, Kshatri, Vaishya, Shudra. This is what is called the Varnashram system. So if we follow this strictly, Lord is pleased. Vishnu worship is the ultimate aim of human life. Those who take the license of material life for sense enjoyment must also take the responsibility of satisfying the personality of Godhead Vishnu. And the first stepping stone is the Varnashram Dharma system. So worshipping the Lord is the ultimate goal of human life. Without Aradhanaya Sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanasrayam. Among all the worship, Vishnu worship is the great. And then those who are married life for sense enjoyment, they also have a responsibility to satisfy the personality of Godhead, and first step to satisfying the Lord is the Varnashram system. If you want to satisfy the Lord while in the Varnashram system, then material world, then first thing to do is follow the varnashrama system strictly. And sense enjoyment is also possible if you satisfy the Lord by your proper execution of varnashrama system. Otherwise, it just becomes Sigriha Meri, a family man attached to the householder life. And that does not satisfy the Supreme Lord, and the life also does not become happy. So that's what somehow satisfying the Lord is the main goal of human life. Varnashrama Dharma is the systematic institution for advancing in worship of Vishnu. Vishnu, there is an institution that is formed by the Lord Himself, and that institution is what is called the Varnashrama system. However, if one directly engages in the process of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it may not be necessary to undergo the disciplinary system of Varnashrama Dharma. But if you are qualified to accept the sannyasa order of life and you don't want to go through Varnashrama system of life, then it is also possible to please the Lord that you directly take the sannyasa order of life from the beginning of your life. So, for such a person who engages himself full time, full place in the service of the Lord from the beginning of his life, he doesn't have to follow the Varnashrama Dharma. He can just follow the sannyasa order of life. And he doesn't have to undergo the disciplinary system of Varnashrama Dharma. The other sons of Brahma, the Kumaras, directly engaged in devotional service, and thus they had no need to execute the principles of Varnashrama Dharma. So what did the Kumara did? They took the sannyasa right at the birth. So for them, going through the Varnashram system is not necessary because they went for the higher purpose, which is the goal of Varnashram system. So those who follow the sannyasa order, they don't have to strictly, then they don't have to follow the Varnashram system. Varnashram system is a systematic order to go step by step. And first step is married Grihastha life. First brahmacharya life, then married Grihastha life, then Vanaprastha life, and then the final sannyasa order of life. So the Kumara uh, exempt from engaging in the married life because they went for the higher purpose order of life. So this verse is mainly discussing the obey the order, obey my order and execute a grihastha life, a householder life, create children in the womb of your wife, rule the world according to the devotional service, and worship the Lord by performance of yajna. So these are the orders that Brahma gave to me to create children, to rule the world, and to worship the Lord and perform the yajnas. These are the four things he gave order. Brahma gave order to Maharaj Manu. That's number 12. परम शुश्रूषणं मह्यं सत्प्रजा रक्षया नृप भगवान ते प्रजा भर्तु ऋषिकेशो नुतुष्यति. O king, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned souls, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you. So now Brahma classifies instructions to Manu Maharaj. What does he say? If you give protection to the living entities in the world, if you become the king, the king's order is to King's life is meant for protecting the living entities, starting from lower living entities to the higher living entities. King supposed to give protection to everybody. So he says, if you give proper protection to the living beings in material world, and that will be a great service for me. Brahma is pleased when everybody is peacefully living in their lifestyles. So that's where gives a more satisfaction to Lord Brahma and the personality of Godhead as well. So he says that will be the best service for Brahma. And when Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned souls, the master of the senses, Rishikesa, will be pleased with you. So he is mainly focusing on the Supreme Lord. If you give protection to the living entities, that is good service for me. And when the Lord sees that you are protecting everybody and with great good care, then you will see the Lord will be very pleased, and then this way everything becomes peaceful. So if the king of the country is very much concerned about the peace of all living entities, then whole situation remains good and everybody is happy with that peaceful condition. But if the king himself is not protecting the peace of the living entities, then such a disturbed condition, nor the Lord is pleased, nor living entities are happy, nor Brahma is happy. Brahma wants to create a lot of living entities, but they should live in a peace and harmony. But if the peace is broken, then the happy, nor Manu Maharaj is happy, nor Brahma is happy, nor the Supreme Personality of Godhead is happy. So it starts with the peace of the living entities, that they are always living in a good care of a good king. A king who protects the living entity is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the duty of a king. Suppose the whole administrative system is arranged for the purpose of going back home, back to Godhead. Why is this creation taking place here? Because the goal of life is going back home, back to Godhead. For that, in this whole creation takes place. So if we deviate from the goal of life, then we are not following any principles of religion. Brahma is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Manu is the representative of Brahma. So Brahma is the representative of the personality of Godhead in this material world. He is just like the God in this material world. And Manu is representative of Brahman. Similarly, all other kings on different planets of the universe are representative of Manu. Those who are ruling class people are representative of Manu. Those who are in the post to rule the living entities, they represent Manu Maharaj. But if they are not acting the way Manu Maharaj acted, then they are not representing the Manu Maharaj. The law book for the entire human society is the Manu Samhita, which directs all activities toward the transcendental service of the Lord. So what is a popular book? The popular book composed by Manu Maharaj is what is called the Manu Samhita. And this Manu Samhita directs all activities toward the transcendental service of the Lord. So that's why Manu Samhita is a proper book to follow. Because in that book, Manu Maharaj has given the codes how to live a human life to make it perfect so that ultimately we achieve the liberation. Every king, therefore, must know that his relationship, responsibility in administration is not merely to exact taxes from the citizens, but to see personally that the citizens under him are being trained in Vishnu worship. Only getting tax is not the work of a administrative class people. they have to also see that everybody is happy and they are trained in worshipping Vishnu. Nowadays, there is no such thing. The country does not make a rule that you must worship God. Whether you worship God or don't worship God, you must pay the tax. That rule is there, but as for worshipping Vishnu, there is no such law. That's why such a administrative class without God putting God in control is not very exemplary. So we can see from clearly from these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam that if Vishnu worship is not introduced, then that administrative class is not doing their duty. They are doing against the principles of the devotional service of the Lord. Everyone must be educated in Vishnu worship and engage in the devotional service of Rishikesh, the honor of the senses. So everyone must be educated. So it is a must rule that Vishnu worship should be introduced to every living being. But in uh, today's administration, there is no such thing mentioned anywhere. In fact, they have separated the churches from the uh, political field. Church is different. Church says that without worship of Lord Vishnu, the master of the senses, the Lord is the master of the senses. So without worshipping the Lord, if you are not training the citizens to worship the Supreme Lord, then your extracting taxes from living being is simply a burden. The conditioned souls are meant not to satisfy their material senses, but to satisfy the senses of Rishikesh, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Know this, that the goal of life is to satisfy Lord Vishnu, but the actual goal is going Varnasam Dharma system is also to satisfy the Supreme Lord. But if we are not satisfying the Supreme Lord, then you are not following the Varnasana system and you are not pleasing the Supreme Lord in our split succession like Manu Maharaj and Brahma. That is the purpose of the complete administrative system. One who knows this secret as disclosed the here in the version of Brahma is the perfect administrative head. So administrative head should know that performance of yajna to satisfy the Supreme Lord is the prime goal of human life. And this is discussed in these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is a secret, great secret. If you want to create proper peace in human society, this secret has to be followed, that everyone should be trained on Vishnu worship. One who does not know this is a straw bottle administrator. Nowadays, almost everybody is a straw bottle administrator. Nobody is giving instructions that you have to worship the Supreme Lord. They only say you have to get proper education, go to college, have a married life, and be a good grihastha. That much they say. But as for worship Vishnu, they have taken it out. There is no such thing mentioned that one must worship Lord Vishnu. So that's why society is not in proper order at this time. By training the citizens in the devotional service of the Lord, the head of a state can be free in his responsibility, otherwise he will fail in the enormous duty entrusted to him and thus be punishable by the supreme authority. The administrative head has this responsibility. He must train his subjects in such a way that they worship Lord Vishnu. But if he is not doing that, then he is not doing his duty. Because this way, if he takes out the worship of Vishnu and does everything else, then he is punishable by Lord Vishnu and all the authorities of human society. So to obey the God's order is the main duty of a son. But if we are not doing that, then how can we become a proper leader? The proper leader has to follow the footsteps of Manu Maharaj because he is the first king who ruled the world according to the duty, according to principles of the Varnashram system. There is no other alternative in the discharge of administrative duty. So administrative duty is to train citizens in such a way that they worship Lord Vishnu. But if they are not doing this, then that is not a proper administrative head, and he is simply a burden in the society. He gets taxes from citizens, but he doesn't train the citizen in proper way, then he is simply a burden to the citizens. So such a person cannot be a good uh, leader, and he is punishable by the supreme authority, the supreme Lord. And that punishment we see, you know, that we change presidents every 5 years. Why do we have to change if he is a good, very good person who takes everybody to the God, God's rule? We don't even have to change the president. But such a thing is not there because the presidents are or anybody is administrating, they are not introducing everybody to worship Vishnu. So that's why even within a couple of years they have to leave the post and new one comes, and when new one comes, and this way administrative class is constantly changing because they don't take the message of God seriously, even though they know that there are religious codes, there are religious duties one has to follow, but they don't follow it properly. Then there is no proper harmony in citizens and authorities. This way, nothing is remains in proper order, and there is no peace in politics. Politics is always quarreling each other. Another party is winning, this party is winning. They are always quarreling who is going to win and how long they're going to serve. There's always a fear there because they are not following the path of Manu Maharaj, the father of mankind. Manu Maharaj has given Manu Samhita. And that book is not popular. Anybody quotes Manu Samhita? Nobody quotes Manu Samhita. Nobody is following Manu Samhita. Very rare person is there who knows Manu Samhita and reads it. That's why society has very little peace because they are not following it properly. So this verse is give proper protection to all living beings in the material world, and if you give proper protection to all living entities, then this will be a best service to me from my saying. And if you did this, then the Supreme Lord will see that you are giving it. You are a good protector of conditioned soul, and the Lord, who is master of the senses, will be very pleased with you. This is our Brahma, pacified uh, Maharaj Manu by proper word and everything. I will read the verses that we read today. Oh, hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limits of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. Since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife, rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord by performance of aging. O king, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned soul, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you. Hare Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.